Flirting, endless ambition. That was a reference to Star Trek, I swear. However, taking it seriously, the ability to flirt is among the most valuable assets you can possess. You can become very proficient with time and effort put into it. You must first comprehend anything before you can excel at it. The two most common ways to learn new things in our world are by formal education, such as in a classroom, and hands-on experience. You can't achieve greatness and advance in life without both. Whether it's about girls, social skills, money, or anything else in life, this channel aims to provide you with the information and motivation to acquire the other type of knowledge you need to achieve. That old adage, if you don't flirt, you're probably dead inside, is so very true. Everyone has an innate tendency to flirt. Not only is it entertaining, but it can also help you feel better about yourself. We addressed intent, the master key to flirting, in the last video, but you need all of them, not just one, for the best outcomes. What you're about to discover has been kept a secret by women for generations. Womanese is the name of it. If you wish to become a better flirt, you should study this hidden language and take cues from it because it is the main way that girls communicate with one another. Subtle and oblique speech is the essence of womanese. It's the equivalent of implying something to someone without really uttering a word. Because humans are hardwired to talk directly rather than subtly, it stands to reason that the majority of males are utterly useless at flirting. Using directly to girls will get you far, but using womanese, a girl's native language, will amp up the thrill and hit all the right buttons for the majority of girls. It will be much easier to flirt and captivate girls once you learn this language. If you know anything about ladies, you know that they just want to have fun. Therefore, it's important to avoid coming off as dry and uninteresting by being too direct and honest. To successfully flirt, one must use hyperbole, subtly convey one's feelings, and position oneself as the object of one's desire. You will be able to become an expert flirt far more quickly than you ever thought possible after you start to understand and use these components. Subtle communication, sometimes known as womanese, entails merely using indirect speech. A straightforward illustration: assume you are having a conversation with a female regarding skirts. Without missing a beat, she tells you, "I love skirts." Direct and indirect responses are the two most common options now. We native men would likely respond with something along the lines of, "I bet you'd look great in a skirt." Simply said, this is a pretty obvious manner of expressing your feelings for the female. So, the real question is, what's the point of that? To avoid coming across as arrogant, try saying something like, "Oh wow, I've always liked girls who love skirts." In this roundabout method of responding, you're still dropping hints about your feelings for her, but with a lot more panache. Envision yourself and your friends starting a game of poker where, as soon as each player receives their cards, they all place them face down on the table and display their hand. If this were to happen, the game and all its enjoyment would be rendered obsolete. The same thing happens when you're overly honest with a girl you have feelings for. Consider your most recent cinematic experience. Guy goes to castle guy, slays dragon, and saves girl. The end. The narrator might have said it at the beginning of the film. That sounds so dull, doesn't it? Just as with flirting, the point is to keep things light and interesting. This more roundabout way of expressing oneself is obviously more appealing to girls, and who could blame them? Indeed, it is their first language. Picture this. You've been wanting to kiss the girl you've been hanging out with, and now is the perfect time. Saying, "I'm going to kiss you now," is so weak, isn't it? Something along the lines of, "Wow, look at how the moonlight is shining off of your lips," might be more appropriate from a charming flirt. As he sat on the balcony of the beachfront hotel room, he gently moved in for the kiss, sensing that she seemed like she wanted to kiss someone at the moment. Mastering womanese is as simple as preparing your words in advance and delivering them with more subtlety. Basically, it's the same as subtly suggesting something rather than outright declaring it. Picture this: you're in the theater, and the popcorn is terrible. Someone should have approached the popcorn distributors and said, "Hey, this popcorn tastes really old and stale." By not directly stating, "Hi, this popcorn sucks. Give me new popcorn right now," you are essentially making an indirect request for a new bag of popcorn. If you observe girls closely, the next time you're in their company, particularly when they're trying to get something from you, you'll see that their communication is largely indirect and discreet. Obviously, the popcorn scenario isn't meant to be a demonstration of flirting. Thus, it's recommended that you practice speaking womanese with girls in order to genuinely practice flirting with them. Now, one of the most crucial parts of flirting is exaggeration, the next big component. As a male, you have to recognize that verbal jabs, or testing, are normal components of amusing, flirtatious banter, especially with high-quality women who are continuously pursued by other guys. Envision yourself in a conversation with a girl where you offer her a praise, and she responds by saying, "Oh yeah, I bet you say that to every girl." You should agree and exaggerate, as this is an exam. Just make a joke, as I've said in previous vids. "Yeah, but there's just something different about you." Or a similar statement could be your way of answering this question. By responding in this way, you're expressing your agreement with her statement while also using womanish language to subtly hint at your attraction to her. An excellent illustration of the component of exaggeration is this. Envision yourself approaching a female at the neighborhood cafe and striking up a chat. A woman asks, "How old are you?" You ask, "What do you think my age is?" "Wait a second, 30? She asks. "No, 50, but I exercise frequently," you respond. After the girl starts laughing, she wants to know your real age. You respond by telling her yours and then asking hers. Exaggeration is the key component in this form of back-and-forth flirtation, which happens all the time. So here's something else. Picture this. You're out with a new girl, and she casually mentions, "I don't sleep with guys on the first date." "Yeah, I know. It's much better on the second date anyway," is an example of an exaggerated agreement statement. Saying something like, "You're a player, aren't you?" is another prime example. Just saying, "Yeah, I play Xbox all the time," would be an agreeable and exaggerated answer. Is that so? Getting serious and defensive is the last thing you should do. Flirting is an art form, and a master flirt knows it. He says everything with a mischievous grin and a light-hearted tone. To playfully excite a female is to flirt with her in its purest form. The third and last component of perfect flirting is now the reward. A lot of guys approach girls with the idea that they are the prize. This puts undue pressure on them and makes them feel special. Also, since this is not the place for egotistical behavior, you should always approach them as if you were the prize. There are a few easy techniques to flirt with them in a lighthearted way that implies this. Consider the following scenario. You're at school or work, and the girl you have a crush on happens to walk by you in the hall. You can ask, "Are you attempting to woo me or something?" On the other hand, perhaps you're out shopping with a male pal and two female companions when the girl you have feelings for remarks on how much she adores a certain style of bra. "Wow, are you attempting to make me imagine you nude or something?" is one possible response. To become the winner, all you have to do is playfully twist a girl's words around so it sounds like she's the one attempting to entice you, rather than the other way around. When flirting, it's important to keep your mouth slightly parted, make good eye contact, and talk in a lighthearted, fun tone. Indirect or womanese speech, exaggeration, and becoming the object of desire are the three main components of flirting. The time to practice flirting is now, because life is fleeting. With your support, this channel was able to quickly amass 250,000 members, and for that, I am eternally grateful. You, the wonderful, devoted, and simply fantastic individuals who view and engage with each and every video, are the reason this channel is so successful. That concludes our show. We appreciate your viewing.